Writer Radio is a BKR Media production.
All right.
Writer Radio, and it is a victory celebration here in Western New York. I'm Brad Writer, joined by my co-host, my football co-host, Nate, my 10-year-old son. What's up, Nate?
Nothing.
You feeling good?
Yeah.
Feeling good about the playoffs?
Yeah.
All right, we're trying something new this time. And if this works, we'll do it again next week, and then the week after that, and then 2 weeks later for the Super Bowl, and maybe every Bills game for the rest of our lives. But as of right now, what we're going to try doing is watching the condensed replay version of the game and talking about it as it's happening in front of us. We don't have to give you, play-by-play. You've already seen the game. I don't mean you, Nate. I mean the listeners.
Yeah.
Everybody's seen it. But it will allow us to get things maybe we would forget. And it's real convenient with the NFL app that there is this condensed version. So the whole thing takes 25 minutes or something, and we can see the whole game. So I'm going to press play, and we're just going to go from there, and hopefully it'll work better than it did yesterday when we tried to do this. We tried last night to do this. We were having some sort of a bandwidth issue or something, so it wasn't working. All right, so what we've just seen is the opening kickoff. Denver did receive that. They're starting at the 30-yard line, and ultimately what we're seeing here is the only really productive drive of the day for the Denver Broncos. Were you scared when this drive happened?
Kind of. Not really. 2nd and 5, handoff, Russo, and then Milano takes, Milano hits McLaughlin, I think maybe his name is. I don't remember completely, but hard hit to the head.
No penalty, no problem. Doesn't matter. Non-existent. Milano had a good game. Milano seemed to be... he seems to be rounding into shape as we're, as he's getting more reps and getting back into the flow of things. I thought he was much more like himself. So the Bills force a 3rd and 8. Then there's a pass over the middle. Cortland Sutton gets to about midfield. And now we're still a couple plays away from the touchdown, which was, I don't know. I mean, obviously, looking back at it, it's a blip on the radar of a game that the Bills dominate and move on. But for the first drive of the game, it was a little bit like, might this be something? But still, the whole time, you're dealing with a rookie quarterback.
And
he got annihilated on this pass, too.
Dwayne Smoot, right?
94? Is that 94? Yeah, he got crushed and got the ball way up in the air, and it ended up perfect. But honestly, it didn't even look repeatable to me.
Right.
It looked like a dude heaving a ball and a guy being in the right place at the right time. They executed it. It was cool. But even then, 43-yard touchdown for Troy Franklin, and even in that moment, I'm thinking, well, are you going to score again? And it turns out they didn't. So, I don't know. There's no reason to get too worked up about a guy getting deep and a quarterback throwing over the top of him as he gets annihilated when nothing else really happened in the game on the offensive side of the ball for Denver.
Extra point is good, and 7-0 Denver, and they'll kick off to the Bills.
All right, so here we've got Ty Johnson returning the kick because Codrington is out.
To about the 33.
Yeah, we would see in the game Khalil Shakir on punt returns, which I thought was kind of cool. But Codrington's been a weapon for them, but it's not a serious... When you look at the injury report going into a game, and the only thing on there is Codrington, then you're doing okay.
Right.
You could fill that role.
After the first play, first down to Shakir, Cook will take it for another first down on a gain of about 17.
Yeah, this is a very good answer drive for the Bills. It does not result in a touchdown, but they come out, pick up a first down on the first play, pick up a first down on the second play. We're about to see a third play, which I feel like might have been another first down.
Might have been.
Maybe pass to Shakir here. No, it's another James Cook run for about 7. But they're clearly moving the ball. I mean, they're already at the inside the 30-yard line.
Yeah,
after running 3 plays.
Second and 4.
We don't need to break down every single play. It's just the general vibe here. They pick up a first down again. Now they're down near the 22, 23-yard line. And the drive ultimately ends up stalling. I'm trying to remember why. Let's see why. All right, completion to Kincaid for 7. Now they're at the 12 or so. Sorry, 18. They're at the 18. Cook makes it about a 3rd and 2. And then what happens here? It's a run. He gets stuffed. Or does he get the first down there?
No, he's
That's kind of a crap spot.
Yeah.
Now that I revisit it.
Did they stop us? No, wait, no. We got way
All right. Tush Push gets the first down. So now 1st and goal at their 1st and 10 at like the 11. Hand off to Cook. to the 8.
Oh, he threw it incomplete to Knox in the end zone, wide open.
All right, that was a little weird. That's not the kind of play you usually see out of Josh. But he was... I think what Denver did all day is not necessarily go to pressure him and chase him out of there, but sort of trap him in the pocket. And it is pretty well documented in the game. But it's an effective strategy to take away a lot of what makes Josh great. So they end up, the drive sputters down inside the 10, end up kicking a field goal, and it's 7-3. But there's nothing in that drive to scare you and make you think that the Bills can't move the ball. All right, so Denver gets it back, and nothing really comes of the rest of the game offensively for Nix. I thought his mobility was very helpful, but from a passing standpoint, he had some drops. Doesn't have a great receiving core. It's not a great team. Nothing wrong with them. Nice season. Congratulations, Denver, on what you accomplished. And I think Sean Payton had a nice year for them. And I think Bo Nix is probably kind of sort of their guy.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be locked in if I'm the Broncos thinking about my team's future. Like, oh, cool, we're all set because we'll be able to compete with Allen and Mahomes and Jackson and Herbert and Burrow and with this guy. He was all right and nothing to be upset about. But I don't see that spark right now. Do you?
No.
Do you see something? Watch out for Denver in a couple of years when Bo Nix really starts to get it. All right, so now the Bills had the ball back. They forced a punt, and I believe this ends up being a touchdown drive, right? Did the Bills go up 10-7 pretty quickly? I think they did. They only punted once in the game. All right, Ty Johnson, decent pick up there on first down. Or that gets him the first down.
First down.
There's a give to Cook.
And then Dion is just pulling him to get a gain of about
17.
Yeah, and now first and 10.
He looked to be kind of bottled up short of a first down, and then Deion Dawkins just kind of grabbed him and pulled him along, and it went for another 8 yards or something like that. So, yeah, that was a cool play. I don't know that it's legal.
Yeah,
but
first down,
we'll
little past midfield.
Because I'm rooting for the team that did it. We're watching that same play again. That's even in the condensed replay. The play was so cool they showed it 3 times. Handoff to Cook goes for a couple, but there's a flag on the play. 2nd and 7. Got a false start on Cook. That'll bring it back 2nd and 12. Allen has all day to throw.
And then
eventually scrambles to the right and picks up, it comes up about 3 yards short of the first down.
3rd and 4 probably now. 3rd and 3. He'll take it. First down, Bills. Josh Allen ran.
A little read option, and he keeps it. Now the Bills are down to the 33-yard line of the Broncos.
And we'll throw it away.
A little bit of pressure there. I don't know what they were looking for, but Allen gets rid of it wisely. One of his very few incompletions on the day.
Find Coleman. Picks up about 5 now. 3rd and 5. And they'll pick up the first down to Curtis Samuel.
Curtis Samuel is such a nice player to have, and the kind of guy that is on a championship team, I think. I think having dudes like Curtis Samuel just sort of blending in on the roster, you forget about them, and then they come up with massive plays like the one at the end of this game. It's a key to winning in the playoffs. Having a guy, you think about Von Miller. I think there are people who are still critical of Von Miller, that he's not what he was 8 or 9 years ago. He's still a very effective player in spurts, and I think it's going to be, when all is said and done, if this is the Bills team that finally can win the Super Bowl, you're going to be looking at the roster, talking about how brilliantly it's constructed with veterans in critical roles, even if they're not in full-time starting roles. So the Bills power that one in. James Cook
touchdown.
From 6 yards out or something like that. And
10-7.
It's a 10-7 lead for the Bills in the first quarter. So it was 7-0 almost immediately. And now we're 3 minutes into the second quarter, and the Bills lead it by a score of 10-7, and they kick it back to the Broncos, who will do nothing with it on the actual kick, and we'll start at the 30. All right, handoff goes up the middle for 7 or 8 yards. 2nd and 3.
Jet sweep, Mims, first down.
Yeah, needed 3, got 3. 1st and 10 at the 40, 1. Nix throws over the middle, and the ball is
through the hands of Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, through Sutton's hands and right into where the Bills could have maybe gotten their hands on it. Kind of fell in between 3 defenders. Another handoff brings up 3rd and 8. Nix rolls to his right, looks to the sideline, and
almost
just
intercepted.
Barely. Taylor Rapp, the ball skips just before he's able to get to it. But that'll bring up a punt. So the Broncos, who were scary.
Fake punt, and they get a first down, Marvin Mims.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You know what's awesome, though? You surrender a fake punt. So this right here is a play that you pull out when you're the worst team, right? The Bills don't need to run fake punts because they'll just use their quarterback to throw passes.
Right.
They'll just use their running backs to run. Denver knows they're up against it, rightfully so, and they pull out the fake punt, and it gets them down to about the Bills' 41-yard line. But you know what happens 3 plays from now? They punt.
And
so you faked a punt. You were successful with the fake punt. You had a lot of fun with your fake punt, and then you end up punting. So running back gets 6 yards. Screen pass to the outside for nothing.
He lost like 2 or 3 yards on that one, too. Bernard brought him down behind the line. Bernard and Russo. 3rd and 7. Nix just throws it up, and it's out of bounds.
Yeah, that was an awful play. And that was a rookie right there. There was pressure on him, and he threw the ball straight up in the air to no one. And the closest player to it was a Buffalo Bill. Was it Hamlin? But he couldn't stay in bounds and catch the ball. So he did get it thrown away. He did get it out of bounds, but just barely. And it was the kind of risk that you just don't want your quarterback taking. Yeah, smart to get rid of it, but he really put his team in danger there, and it's just the kind of thing. It's so nice to have a quarterback who's in his 7th year and just doesn't do that stuff anymore.
All right.
So that was just rookie looking. So afterwards, the Broncos punt. The Bills now have to start at their own 1-yard line. Good coverage on that.
They just got a false start, half the distance.
It's irrelevant. Doesn't matter.
Handoff.
Still first down at the
Cook, and he'll get out of the end zone on a gain of about 8. So I think we were stopped short of the first down.
There's another carry for Cook. Brings up 3rd and 1. Josh Allen just pushes through. No problem. First down. Bills still at their own 13. A little over 7 minutes left in the second quarter.
Allen almost threw a deep ball there to Shakir, but he'll just throw the screen out to Curtis Samuel. He'll get a gain of 6 on that. And Ray Davis is short of the first down, so now it's 3rd and 1. Allen.
Play action, roll right, run for the first down.
Take it himself, first down.
Easiest thing on earth
out of bounds.
for this Bills team to do.
5 minutes left in the second quarter. Throws it out to Cooper, who gets a gain of about 5. Pitch to Cook. First down.
8-yard gain or so for a first. Bills now have the ball up to their own 38 for 1st and 10. 3.5 minutes to go. Cook up the middle for nothing. We'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 8. They are bleeding clock. Took it down to about 3 seconds before snapping the ball. False start will stop the clock with 2:39 left and also move the Bills back 5 yards. 2nd and 13. And Josh Allen is sacked for the first time today.
Zach Allen, I
think, wound up with 2 sacks.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And I think the Broncos wound up with 2 sacks.
Probably. Yeah, this is one of the best defenses. This is one of the best defenses the Bills went against all year.
In theory. All right, so 3rd and 21, little dump over the middle to Khalil Shakir, who picks up about half of it, but that puts the Bills, in a punt situation, 4th and 8. And I believe it's the only time we would see Sam Martin all day. And good punt down to about the 12, and Mac Hollins annihilates him, but then walks over him and takes a taunting penalty. I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Personal foul on the Broncos for shoving one of our players.
Oh wait, that's not our penalty?
No.
The Mac Hollins thing comes later, huh?
Maybe. But now it's half the distance. So from the 8, throw it out to the running back, who will make the catch, fall, gets back up, takes it. Now,
minute and a half to go.
Broncos, 2 timeouts.
Kind of, sort of trying to do something here, but probably knowing pretty well that this is not a good idea. So a quick pass to the sideline brings up 3rd and 1. A rush up the middle. Like, why even do that? You got a minute left. All right, 57 seconds.
They use one of their timeouts. 1 timeout, 57 seconds.
Timeout at your own 19-yard line. Does not seem wise to me. All right. Decent pressure.
Running.
Nix ends up scrambling. Oh, this ultimately does lead to a field goal attempt that misses, right?
Yeah.
All right, so 44 seconds. So they do. This is probably the most impressive thing Nix does all day, aside from, the one pass early. But then this is a drive mostly of him just scrambling. There's a decent pass to the sideline. Cortland Sutton with the catch
Good
for the
catch
first
there.
down. They're now out at the 41 with 25 seconds or so left.
Throws
Incomplete
it.
pass,
Incomplete.
stops the clock with 23 seconds left, 2nd and 10. It still doesn't feel like they're going to get into field goal position here. They do. I know they do. That should have been a false start. The left tackle leaving early to protect quarterback from Epinesa. All right, long pass down the sideline goes incomplete. This flag is for holding on Benford. Okay, this is starting to explain things, but still 15 seconds left at their own 48. How do they get a field goal attempt here? I don't remember. All right, Nick's rolling right.
Sutton
Decent pass to Sutton.
into field goal range. Call their timeout. 5 seconds left.
Is that a timeout or he went out of bounds? Did he go out of bounds?
No, they called their last timeout there.
Still up. Oh, yeah, he is down in bounds. Okay, so they call timeout with 5 seconds left.
That'll bring out Will Lutz. And before yesterday, he hadn't missed a field goal since November. So he was definitely due. Puts it up and doink, right off the upright. No good.
Upright, and that's the end of the half. All right, so the Bills lead 10-7, and I wouldn't say that in any way the game is scary at this point, but they were a doink away from it being a tie game at halftime. So the Bills get the kickoff in the second half. We are skipping right through. And a nice return there from Ty Johnson. Brings it out to about the 36-yard line. 1st and 10. There's James Cook for about 7 on the ground. If you could snort into something other than the microphone, that would be helpful.
I was trying to go like
Yeah, no, it's gross, man. How are you feeling? You all right?
stuffy nose.
All right, well, don't snort into my microphone.
Okay.
All right, Bills are 1st and 10 at the 48. Allen looking deep for a wide open Dawson Knox down to the 27-yard line. And that'll bring up 1st and 10. We're only a minute and a half into the half, and the Bills are already cruising. Yeah, couldn't be more open, all alone. Safety closing in on him at the last second to make the play right after he catches it, but plenty of room to make the play. James Cook, big gap, running up the right side.
Gain of about 20 inside the 10-yard line now.
I remember there being a point where I was surprised by Cook's yardage. He was at like 86 yards, and I didn't know where it came from. I forgot he had 3 or 4 runs of 15 to 20 yards. That stuff adds up. All right, so 1st and goal here at the 9 or 10. Tiny little gain for Cook.
Takes to about the 5. 2nd and goal. Matt Collins in motion. Handoff. Stop behind the line of scrimmage. Or no, he got it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Cook was bottled up, but kind of weaved his way through to turn it into a no gain. 3rd and goal.
Allen.
Taking a lot of time, and ultimately takes a sack after stepping up in the pocket. But there's another example of what they're doing defensively to sort of hem him in. This is the one where he ultimately ended up running to the end zone to argue about a holding call that didn't happen. But that never works, arguing with officials. It never gets you anything. And they settled for a, whatever that was, 26-yard field goal or so from Tyler Bass and extend the lead to 13-7.
Kickoff now, bounces, and they'll just take it for a touchback.
Broncos on 1st down, handoff for nothing, maybe a gain of 1. Another handoff, gain of 4. 3rd and 5, just under 9 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
And incomplete.
A little bit of pressure. Bo Nix gets kind of happy feet, throws it into a decent situation, but the receiver is unable to come up with it, and that leads to a punt on 4th and 5. Khalil Shakir calls for the fair catch. The Bills will start at the 27-yard line. First play, handoff to Cook. Gain of 1. It's really, as you go through it again, it's a very slow, methodical drubbing of this Broncos team because nothing spectacular is happening all day long, but all the little things are happening in favor of the Bills. There's a 1st down pass.
2nd and 9 to Shakir. Handoff to that was Ray Davis.
That's Ray Davis.
Takes it for a gain of about 7, but there is a flag. And that's holding on Don Kincaid, 1st and 20. Allen takes it, gain of about...
Allen rolls right, doesn't find anything downfield, ends up picking up 7 yards or so. And then the near fatal pass to Ray Davis. You could tell from the look on Allen's face, not only was he mad that he didn't complete it, but he was upset with himself for leading Davis into that kind of collision. That's what Doug Flutie did to Thurman Thomas in Miami. I still haven't forgiven him for it. Josh Allen gets more grace than Flutie ever did, but not a good pass from Allen, and really where he put it led to the destruction of Ray Davis.
We picked up a first down to Knox. Then first down, we threw it incomplete. 2nd and 10, and Cook gets stopped after a gain of about 1 or 2. So now it's 3rd and 8 from the 31. Allen throws a screen out to Shakir. Takes it for a gain of about 7. 4th and 1. Allen rolls out to the right, stops, has all day, throws it, end zone, caught, touchdown, Ty Johnson, sliding catch, back of the end zone.
That play's crazier than I remember it. I remember the craziness of the catch. I forgot that Josh Allen was standing back there for about half an hour waiting for something to happen downfield. And we've seen this all year and really throughout much of his career with Allen, where if he gets out of the pocket and has some time and just starts waving people around, he's going to find somebody downfield. But this was an incredible catch by Johnson, and really incredible to keep his body in bounds. I don't even know that I want to credit him for it. It's almost like a luck type of situation that he wound up on his knee / butt / elbow without his feet being on the ground, because they were dangling precariously over the back line but did not touch prior to him having possession and being down in the end zone. So crazy play there, made possible by Josh Allen. Josh Allen just extending it and creating more time for Johnson to get open in the back of the end zone. And he's barely open. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that play happens. I don't understand Josh Allen. How does he do that? How did he do that? How did Johnson catch it?
Watching in real time, I thought it was picked off, but then touchdown.
That was a big one. So that gives the Bills the 19-7 lead with the extra point pending. But they go for 2, which they do pick up.
Keon Coleman.
Oh, yeah, Coleman. That's right. That's a nice little play there. Keon just sprinting from one side to the other and getting separation in the back half of the end zone.
21-7.
I don't remember thinking they should go for 2 there, but then once you get the 2, then you don't argue it, I guess, right?
Right.
I was all right at 20-7, but it worked. 21-7. Broncos start with the ball at their own 30. Pick up 3 on first down on a running play. Another running play. Nothing there. Probably lost a yard. Nope, 3rd and 6. They gained 1. All right, 3rd and 6. Nick's back. Von Miller almost creating pressure, and then there's a flag, which means probably a false start here. Okay, so that one didn't count.
So now that'll bring it to
3rd and 11.
3rd and 11. Nick's going to throw, and almost intercepted by DeMar Hamlin.
Yes, Hamlin was there. Bernard was there. And it was right in, I think, Hamlin's hands, right?
Yep. He just couldn't hang on.
Couldn't hang on to it. Well, we'll see a replay of it here. But this is a pass over the middle. Very dangerous pass over the middle. Very rookie-like pass over the middle. Yeah, it hit Hamlin's left hand, then his right hand. Didn't hit both at the same time, or we'd probably be having a different conversation about it. So that leads to a punt. Shakir is the return man once again. Fields it at the 18.
Gets a nice
return. It all
return.
the way out to the 41.
Oh, I didn't realize how close that was.
To breaking?
Yeah, if he got the punter grabbed his leg, and if he didn't, he would have went for a touchdown.
All right, first down is a short run, 1-yard run by Cook.
Screen out to Cooper.
Allen, quick turn and throw. Probably an RPO situation there.
First play of the fourth
Sure
quarter
looked like
now.
All right, yeah, we're into the 4th. It's 3rd and 6 for the Bills at the 45.
Throws
and
Curtis
this is
Samuel.
the play of the day, probably.
51-yard touchdown.
Pass to Curtis Samuel, who makes the standard move to beat the 2 defenders that are right there, but then somehow evades the guy who's trying to chase him down from behind, too. And this is what I like. I don't need Curtis Samuel to be the star every week, but once in a while, I like to be reminded that this veteran who can do this sort of thing is on my roster. I've got 3 more games. I need probably 2 more touchdowns out of him to make him a complete success for the year. And yeah, I'll take 6 more touchdowns, but sprinkling in plays from him, sprinkling in plays from Cooper feels like the way to go here. All right, so the Bills kick off. Broncos will start their own 22. We're just into the 4th quarter here. That touchdown was the first play of the 4th quarter, right?
Yep.
Okay. Nice long run from Bo Nix there. All the way out to the Broncos 45, about a 20-yard pickup or so. Just evades Daquan Jones and Ed Oliver, then kind of makes Terrell Bernard look silly running around him.
First
play,
down.
12-yard or 13-yard completion to Cortland
Cortland
Sutton.
Sutton.
So we're at 1st and 10, about the 44-yard line.
And
It's also complete for a gain of 11 and another first down. Broncos moving the ball inside Bills territory, about the 34. Nix runs again and picks up another first down. I think I was combining the last drive of the first half with this one. There were 2 drives where he looked very mobile, made a lot of plays with his legs. This is the other.
they'll throw a screen out to Mims. Will stop him behind the line. 2nd and 13.
2nd and 13 for the 25.
Von Miller nearly sacks him and almost pulled in by Vele.
Yeah. The pressure led to a bad throw there. So, if you want to say Von Miller didn't get to the quarterback, that's fine, but he was right there. He did it again on the next play. Didn't quite get there, but certainly influenced the throw. This time it is complete to Sutton, who gets it down to about the 12-yard line, bringing up 4th and 2. Broncos go for it, run a no-yard pass that goes for no yards. That was dumb. That's also the play where Cam Lewis made the play, but he made the play with his face, and he was down for a bit there. Bills take over, leading by 21 points. First play, Josh Allen ends up rolling out, scrambling for about 5.
The game was basically over when Curtis Samuel had his touchdown.
Yes.
But as soon as we stopped them there was no chance of them coming back.
Yeah, I would say those are the 2 plays that ended it. The Samuel touchdown and then stopping them on 4th and 2 at the 12 or whatever it was. I was trying to decide in the moment if I thought there was any value in kicking a field goal there. And probably no, because you're still going to need 3 scores. You're still only going to have 9 minutes to do it. But to walk away with nothing there, I think sealed the deal. Warm up the buses, get them to that airplane, and get the Broncos out of here, because that's kind of what happened. What happened here? A little dump off to Shakir. Did I pick up a first down?
No. Brought up
all right, so we're 3rd and 4 here. Allen back to pass, and heaves it deep for Dalton Kincaid, who I remember in the moment thinking he caught it. I guess the ground helped him a little bit there. Still a good-looking play.
They called it complete. And
it did. That's what happened. They called it complete, and then the Bills ran a quick play. If they had allowed the Broncos time, they might have challenged. It might have gone away. It probably wasn't a catch, but the Bills quickly ran a play that sealed it. That's what happened. I knew there was something weird that happened there. 2nd and 2, James Cook picks up the first downs. Now the Bills are down to the 22-yard line, only 6 minutes left in the game. A little corner fade type of situation for Keon Coleman that never went anywhere.
2nd and 10. They're going to throw. Allen throws. Mac Hollins down to about the 2-yard line.
This is where the taunting comes in. Yeah, Hollins gets down to the 2 and then steps over the defender, which was it Surtain? I don't even remember who it was.
Yeah, that's Surtain.
Yeah. So he steps over Surtain. That is considered taunting. You could say that's the only place he had to go, but he knew what he was doing. I knew what he was doing. Surtain knew what he was doing. It's a penalty. It's taunting. I liked it. But it's a penalty, and I understand. But that took away that would have been a touchdown. I mean, they were down at the 2-yard line. That would have been tush push, Josh touchdown,
and
seal the game. Instead, you're just kind of bleeding some more clock, which is also fine. But the Bills still throwing in these situations, which is interesting to me. 1st and 15, throw to the end zone goes incomplete. 2nd and 15, they give to Ty Johnson.
We dominated this game in time of possession.
Yeah, it was like 42-18.
3rd and 10 will hand it off. Johnson takes it.
I mean, just look no further than what we've been doing here, Nate. We started this game, and we very rarely have been talking about the Broncos on offense.
Right.
It's just gain of 3, gain of 6, gain of 11, gain of 2, gain of 5, gain of 12, gain of 16, touchdown, and it's just all day. It had to be a very frustrating day for the Broncos offensively. And in the moment, it didn't feel like the Bills were dominating them, but you look back at it and just nothing really happened. Nothing happened on the Broncos side of things, aside from the one long pass early and some scrambling, some creative legwork out of Bo Nix. But a fake punt mixed in, but a lot of drop passes, a lot of ill-advised passes, a lot of near interceptions. I think the score is a pretty accurate depiction of what happened in this game. 31-7 will be the final. We could probably stop doing this. Big sack by Russo. Is that the first sack of the night or the day for the Bills? I think it was.
Might have been.
Kind of a coverage sack, too. Nothing available downfield. Milano coming in as the spy, and Russo gets to him. Von Miller again almost gets to him. And there's the near interception that we thought was an interception, and Damar Hamlin thought was an interception, so much so that he decided to proceed down the field, take his helmet off, celebrate in the end zone with 3 minutes and 16 seconds left. It was then determined that it was an incomplete pass, and all of that was for naught. So, yeah, no pick for Damar. But it was cool. It was a fun moment. He got to enjoy it.
Yeah,
but then it went away.
He looked shocked when.
Yeah, I think that was fake shock. I think he knew. Bills have the ball, pick up another first down near the 10-yard line with 2.5 minutes left, and ultimately they would just kneel it out to end this thing. And there we are. Yeah, they got to the 2-minute warning, and it was all kneel down from there. That'll do it. We can shut this thing off. Anything else you want to say about this game, Nate?
Congratulations to Jim Nantz. This was his 500th career game announcing.
It's pretty good. Paul Peck had his 300th game this year. The UB broadcast. We got him a cake. It does not appear that anybody got Jim Nantz a cake.
No. He just got a picture with Josh Allen and maybe with Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Holding a football.
Yeah, but that's not the same as a cake that says congratulations on 500 games or 300 games, as was the case with Paul Peck. So the Broncos or the Bills or somebody could really use a John Fuller on their team that takes care of things like getting cakes for milestone broadcasts, you know?
Yeah.
It's no good. So how you feeling? Let's talk about the game in general and the playoff picture in general. There's still one game to be played in the NFC, but now we are settled in. We know what's happening in the AFC, and we know that the Bills will play on Sunday night at home against the Baltimore Ravens.
Sunday night, hosting the Ravens. Kind of scary playing Derrick Henry. Well, it always is. Lamar, I'm not that worried about. I mean, like, he's fine, but nothing great. I mean, like, he does have 2 MVPs. Allen has not won at all. Hopefully he will win. He'll win this year. Looking at it just by stats, Lamar's are better, but if you would rather have a player on your team, you would rather have, based off of this season, you would rather have Josh Allen than Lamar.
All right, so I'm looking up Derrick Henry right now, and I see a total of 6 times Derrick Henry has faced the Bills. He's had 2 good games and 4 nothing games. Now, one of those good games happened this year already, so it's fresh in your mind. September 29th, he went 24 carries for 199 yards, and most notably the long touchdown
to
start the game. I mean, first
play of the
game?
Offensive play for the Ravens.
Right.
We went 3 and out, I think.
Yeah,
and then
first carry was a 75-yard touchdown or whatever it ended up being. So he wound up 24 for 199 in that game. In 2021, he had a big game for the Titans, 20 carries for 143 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's the scary game. But listen to the rest of his games against the Bills. Last year, it was 13 carries for 25 yards. In 2020, it was 19 carries for 57. In 2019, it was 20 carries for 78. And he had 11 carries for 56 back in 2018. So his average performance is 93 yards. He typically scores a touchdown. But when all is said and done, it's really 2 big games that we're thinking of. And one of those big games is really just that one
play
at the beginning,
which got him a ton of yards, which gave him the rest of the game for all of his other runs to add on to that one.
Right, and it also gave them the early lead, and I think you're right that the Bills did start with the ball and go 3 and out, or maybe pick up the first time, but it was no production, no offensive production, and then as soon as they had the ball, they had a touchdown, and the Ravens with the lead are a much different team than the Ravens trailing.
Right. If the Bills have a lead that's like 10 points in the third quarter, the Bills almost always win those games.
My overall point is when you've got the ability to just run the ball and you're thinking clock the whole time, that's when Derrick Henry has the ability to eat you alive. But if you're pushing and trying to score, I don't necessarily, it's happened. He's first ballot Hall of Famer, super talented. I wouldn't want to tackle him. I wouldn't want to chase him. I wouldn't do anything to deal with this guy. And I'd like him as a player, too. I wish he wasn't on the Ravens. But I don't think it's that intimidating a situation to go into a team that's got a decent ground game when you've got the passing game that the Bills have.
Right.
Like, just go blow them out is kind of the plan. and make it so they have to throw the ball and make Lamar beat you throwing the football, and I think you're fine.
Right.
Like I would love that. I would love to see Lamar standing trying to be a pocket passer against the Bills. I mean, that's a beautiful thing if you're a Bills fan or a Bills coach or a Bills player, is putting Lamar Jackson in a situation where he's the one that's got to beat you. And I don't want to hear about MVP and him being freaking close to what Josh has done this year. I don't think he should have won it twice already.
Right.
I don't think he's ever been one of the best quarterbacks in the league, ever, at any point. One of is the wrong way to put it. He's a good player. I get that he's a super athletic player and he does some stuff that other people can't do. I would never trust that dude as my quarterback. It just doesn't work for me. His game does not translate to me into confidence as a fan.
If you need to pass the ball, but he's not going to be the player that when 3 defenders are coming at you, you're going to run to the sidelines, stand there, and wait for a receiver to get open, then throw a perfect ball to him for a gain of 50 yards or something.
Right. There aren't a lot of people that can do that.
Well, right.
But he's going up against one of them this week. Right. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. This is not even to... I'm not trying to say that I don't appreciate his talent, because I do. It's just there's always somebody in the league I would trust more to be my quarterback. And right now, and for the past 4 years, 5 years, that's been Josh Allen for sure. So, I don't know. I guess I'm taking out some of my frustration on Lamar Jackson. But, I mean, since his time at Louisville, he's legit. I mean, that's a legit thing. He's on TV. You want to watch it. I want to see it. I just don't believe in it, if that makes any sense. I don't know if it does, but that's just my overall position on him. So I guess we're going to spend this whole week hearing about this amazing matchup and how big and scary the Ravens are. And I don't know that I buy it. I don't know that I buy it because of Lamar. It's not just Lamar's history in the playoffs either. There have been very few times I've watched him and thought, man, I wish he was on my team. Man, I wish I had something like that. I don't ever think that. I think that guy's going to turn the ball over. That guy's going to get hurt. Now, I'm not always right about it. Obviously, the statistics say that I'm incorrect. But just my feeling going into the game is I got a guy who's completely in control, and I've got a guy who's 100% reliant on his ground game functioning in order for him to be an effective passer. That makes me feel good about the game as a fan of the Bills.
Right. Their defense is pretty good. They have Roquan Smith at middle linebacker, Kyle Hamilton at safety, Marlon Humphrey at corner. D-line is solid. On their offense, though, running back, they're strong. Running game is strong for them, Lamar and Derrick Henry. But receiving, they don't have a ton of good players. They have Zay Flowers, second-year guy, and they have Mark Andrews, veteran tight end.
I like Bateman.
But I
like Likely.
Right, but none of them are going to make catches that Amari Cooper and Shakir are going to make in this game.
All right. I think if I was talking to a 10-year-old Ravens fan, he would be saying the same thing about the Bills receivers, though. I mean, Cooper hasn't done a ton. Samuel hasn't done a ton. Coleman hasn't done a ton. Shakir kind of flies under the radar. I think we're all very impressed with him, but I don't know that he's made a huge splash in the league yet to the point where the 10-year-old in Baltimore is like, man, you got to watch out for Khalil Shakir. I just don't think that exists. So I think there's probably a mutual level of disrespect from you to them that there would be from a 10-year-old in Baltimore toward the Bills, right?
Right.
I think that's fair. You just know this team better.
Right.
And we tend to like our guys better. I get that. I get it. I mean, what has Cooper caught? 7 passes since he's been here?
But he catches almost all of the ones we throw to him.
Yes, I know. He hasn't been a huge impact player yet. I'm glad he's here. I'm excited that he's here. I hope they can find a way to bring him back next year. But we haven't seen much yet out of him.
Right. He had the one crazy touchdown against the Jets.
Yeah.
He scored the first week we had him.
Right.
And then he had 2 big catches against the Chiefs.
Yeah. Oh, he's been there. He's been fine. He's been fine, and I'm sure that the offense feels better to Josh Allen knowing that he's there, and he continues with the everybody eats philosophy, and we're not, Cooper's here, now he's got to get the ball 10 times a game. I don't mean that. He's fit in very nicely. He's been a good addition. But that's about as far as I want to go with it so far. Keon Coleman, I think, has been clutch, but he's utilized very little, it seems.
Right. Like we used him the one time against the Jets again. Touchdown. We threw a touchdown to him where he caught it over the defender's head.
The 2-point conversion in yesterday's game.
Yeah.
It's cool. He's done stuff. He's done, sideline back shoulder stuff.
Right.
That
all of our receivers have done that.
But he's built differently physically. He's a size and shape of receiver that they haven't had before. They've got a nice complement of different sizes and shapes and skill sets, and I think it's great. It's come together very nicely. But my overall point is, I think a kid in Baltimore would look at the Bills' skill position. It's the same thing when I'm listening to people argue why Josh Allen should be MVP. They talk about how his supporting cast isn't any good. So I start off happy that they're saying that my guy should be the MVP, and then I end up mad at them because they're saying that the rest of my team isn't any good. I think they're a good team. They're a good group of players, but it's not, this guy scares you, this guy scares you, this guy scares you. It's just they're the full package on the offensive side of the ball, and that's what makes it work, all because they have a superhero at quarterback. I mean, that's all of it. Let's talk about leading up to the game. We had a tremendous opportunity thanks to our good friend Jeremy White. I will let you tell the story of what we did the other day. I don't even know what day it was. Saturday, day before the game.
Okay, so we got to go to the Buffalo Niagara. That's what it's called, right? Buffalo Niagara Airport.
You can just say airport. People know.
Okay, yeah. We got to go to
They don't think you're going to Dulles. They don't think you're going to O'Hare. You say the airport in Buffalo. It usually means the Buffalo Airport. Yeah.
Right. We went to the Buffalo Airport, and we got to meet one of the pilots that was doing the flyover for the Bills game yesterday. He flies the military planes. We got to go out and take a tour of the plane. Well, not really a tour, but he told us about the plane because the plane was really small on the inside. It was only a one-person's plane.
Single-seat aircraft. A-10 Warthog.
He was talking about how all those planes have 5,000-pound bombs and missiles on the wings of the planes. And then he said that his favorite part of the plane was the gun on the front of the plane. And
there's like a turret on the front that I have since read is capable of shooting 3,900 bullets a minute. We actually walked out of there with some of the shells from that. He gave you guys each a spent shell from a Gatling gun. It's crazy. And then in addition to bombs and missiles and other weaponry that they can attach, laser type of things and GPS guided thing. The plane is built in 1978,
and
I believe,
it's still working.
And it's still
and
up and running.
No marks really of it being old. No rust. Nothing.
Yeah. It is a badass vehicle, and him describing all the various weaponry. The thing that stood out to me, and this guy was awesome. Dan Griffin was his name. He goes by Woody, but he was super cool and took all of us out there. And all I kept thinking about afterward was that guy was so nice and kind and helpful and interesting for a dude who really, it seems, has killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
These planes they were designed originally to provide support for ground troops. So ground troops are coming in and these warthogs are flying to take out tanks.
Right.
And he's talking about at one point with some kind of sights and how they fly at night and they have, night vision type of stuff. And he said at one point, and I can see a guy light up a cigarette from 12 or 15 miles away. What are you talking about? I'm trying to picture what was, we're at the airport. What's 12 miles away? The Bills Stadium, basically.
Right. And
so when he's in this thing, he can see something that small from that. It blew my mind. And then just thinking about, I get claustrophobic when I'm on a regular airplane. The UB flights, sometimes we take smaller planes. And if my knees are kind of up, I'm uncomfortable. And he was talking about what it's like flying this thing, how you're kind of squatting and bending over, and there's only one thing that brings in heat or cold, and it's right at your knees. So even if the heat is on, your knees are on fire, and if the air conditioning is on, there are ice chunks flying at you.
Right.
And it just sounds like the most uncomfortable thing, and he's got 2 working iPads in addition to all of the actual controls while sitting on a tiny, it's like sitting on a toilet.
Right.
Like sitting on a toilet seat with walls around you, flying
40,000 feet in the air.
with all this weaponry.
Missiles on your wings.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy, but it was super
Right.
cool. We got a bunch of pictures taken. You got to wear the helmet.
I got
you got to
to-
climb up the ladder and look in the cockpit. You're the only one who did it out of
Yep.
our whole group that climbed up to check it out.
It was, yeah, the cockpit was like very confusing.
Yeah.
Because like there was obviously the seat.
Well, you don't even know how to drive a car. So
Right.
you sitting in the driver's seat of a car would be confusing to you.
Right.
Now make it a Warthog, an A-10 Warthog fighter jet.
And but basically there's a lot of like speedometers, right?
Gauges.
Gauges.
Gauges, I would say, would be the word you're looking for.
Yeah.
A speedometer is a type of gauge, but yes.
A lot of gauges, switches, buttons, knobs, like hundreds of those in such a small area, and you have to be able to operate all of those and know what all of them do.
While dealing with enemies.
Well, yeah,
While flying.
while dealing with people shooting at you and dropping bombs on you.
I can't even understand. Like, we'll use Top Gun as our example, or Maverick, whichever one you would prefer. I can't even understand when people are talking on walkie-talkies or headsets, whatever. It's over. Like, that's what I hear. I couldn't even do that part. Like, to listen and if my whole job was just listen and tell me what the people just said. I can't even do that. Now add to that, you're sitting all scrunched up with all these switches and levers and missiles and bombs and guns and fuel and like all of the danger of. I just it's crazy to me that people can do that.
I don't understand it.
I don't understand it. I mean, I don't need to. At this point in my life, I think I'm probably never going to fly a fighter jet.
No.
Seems super unlikely that I'll ever have to do it, so I don't need to worry about it right now. But yeah, it was something. But super cool. Thank you to Jeremy for that, and thank you to Dan Griffin for having us out, that was just awesome. Next time we do a podcast, you said you want to do year-end awards.
Yep.
All right, what are we doing? Obviously, MVP will be involved.
MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year,
Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year, and whatever other important awards there are.
All right, we'll do that next time. Thank you, Nate. We'll talk to you soon.